Let's dive into a world of exciting facts on Factbeast. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. No Nepal taku whenua tūpana, ko Matupusa taku maunga, ko Seti taku awa, ko Nepalese taku iwi, ko Ajax Banstola taku ingoa, ko Otipoti taku kāinga noho, ko Mount Cargill te maunga, ko Leith te awa, ko Aotearoa taku kāinga rua. No reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Hi everyone, you're with me, Ajax, on Factbeast. This program runs every fortnight, Friday 3:30 to 4 p.m. on Ora FM 105.4. Could you guess what topic I'm going to talk about today? I'll give you a few hints to make it easier. Here we go. The first hint is that this topic that I'm going to talk about is about a mammal. A mammal is an animal that is warm-blooded, it has fur, and it doesn't lay eggs. Instead, it gives birth. Have you guessed what the topic might be? If not, here's another clue for you. This animal can be pretty small and it can also be pretty big. No, I'm not talking about big as the gorillas. Not that big. It can go up to 1.5 meters. Some of you might have guessed the topic, some of you might have not. But today I'm going to talk about the amazing creatures called bats. If you know about bats, well good, stay in tune. But if you don't know that much about bats, listen, I will explain it all to you. As I said before, bats are mammals. But the interesting thing is that they are the only mammals that can fly. Bats are endangered and about to be extinct. That's why we need to protect them. There are about over 1,300 types of bats, which make a fifth of all mammals. I think humans have the most population of mammals. I think there is around 7.7 billion humans. Bats look like awesome hibernators, which they are. But not all bats hibernate. Hibernate means to spend winter in a passive condition, like deep sleep, to save energy. As I was saying, bats look like awesome hibernators, which they are. And some bat species, like the spotted bat, survive by migrating in search of food to warmer areas when it gets chilly. Now let's talk about the prey and predators of bats. Predators are the animals who hunt bats in this case, and preys are the animals that bats hunt. So the prey of bats are bugs. Bats also eat fruits, but fruits aren't the prey of bats. Bugs are. I wanted to say that most bats are nocturnal. Nocturnal means to be active at night. So bats eat their own weight of bug every night. The predators of bats are mainly owls, hawks, and snakes. But that's nothing compared to the millions of bats dying from the white nose syndrome, the disease named for a white fungus on the muzzle, which is the nose and mouth part of an animal. The disease is named for a white fungus on the muzzle and wings of bats. It affects hibernating bats. This deadly syndrome has killed certain species of bats more than others. It has killed over 90% of the northern long-eared little brown and tricolored bat population. in fewer than 10 years. Scientists are still working on the white nose syndrome, but the good thing is that the white nose syndrome can't transmit from the bats to us humans. Do you like fruits? Surely you do, right? Because without bats, say bye to avocados, bananas, and mangoes. Over 300 species of fruits depend on bats. Bats help spread seeds for nuts, figs, and cacao, which is the unprocessed form of cocoa, and which is the main ingredient for chocolate. This is another reason to protect bats. If you want yummy fruits and chocolate, we all need to play just a simple part of protection to bats, like picking up rubbish. Not only does this help bats, but it also helps other things like Mother Nature. Let's take a break from these wonderful facts and explore some species of bats. The first bat that I'm going to talk about is the bumblebee bat, also known as the Kitti's hog-nosed bat. I'm going to talk about this certain species of bat because it is the world's smallest bat, and it even might be the world's smallest mammal. It is found mostly in Thailand and Myanmar. The bumblebee bat's body length is mostly 29 to 33 millimeters, and it weighs less than 2 grams. The wingspan of a bumblebee bat is surprisingly approximately 170 millimeters, and the lifespan of a bumblebee bat is mostly 5 to 10 years. Let's move on to the second type of bat that I'm going to talk about, and it is the flying fox bat. The flying fox bat's nickname is the fruit bats, and they are named the fruit bats because they mostly eat fruits. The fruit bat's length is approximately 40 centimeters long, while the wingspan of a fruit bat is 1.5 meters. And the fruit bat sometimes weighs about just under 1 kg. I hope you've learned something so far, and you are currently listening to Factbeast. This program runs every fortnight, Friday 3:30 to 4 p.m. on ORFM 105.4. Let's jump into some exciting facts about bats again. You know how I said earlier on that bats are the only mammals that can fly? Yes, it's true. While the flying squirrel can only glide for short distances, bats are true flyers. A bat's wings resembles a modified human hand. Imagine the skin between each of your fingers, longer, larger, and stretched. This flexible skin membrane that extends between each long finger bone and many movable joints that make bats agile flyers. You might think that bats are quite small and they can't do anything special. Well, that's not exactly true. Bats can fly and reach the speeds over 100 miles an hour. That is really fast, and that is something special. Probably the happiest thing about bats is that they are now getting rescued by conservations. These amazing animals face a multitude of threats, including habitat loss and disease. So as long as the conservations are helping, it will be fine. But we could also help by planting a bat garden or installing a bat house. But remember, you don't always have to do this. You can just simply pick up rubbish and other stuff like that. Most people think and say that if you're smaller, you pass away quicker. However, the longest living bat, that passed away at the age of 41 broke the saying of if you're smaller, you'll pass away quicker. This bat was actually a tiny bat found in Siberia. This is quite a long time to live for a bat because most bats die at the age below 20 years. You know how some of your pets, like your cats and dogs, scooch their paw up, lick themselves and clean themselves? Well, surprisingly, bats do the same thing. Far from being dirty, bats spend a lot of time grooming themselves. Some, like the Canolian bat, even groom each other. Besides having sleek fur, cleaning also helps control parasites. Now, let's talk about a special technique that bats use. And this technique is called echolocation. You might be thinking, whoa, Ajax, what is that word? Well, if you were thinking that, keep on tune because I'll explain it all to you. First of all, bats are nocturnal, like I said before. When they hunt at night, they can't see, so bats use an amazing technique called echolocation. Do you know what echo means? It's a noise that bounces back like when you're in a cave. You make a noise, it goes on. That is what echo means. Location means a place. I think of it this way. Bats use echo to find their location. It might not be exactly true. Bats often fly around with their mouths open. No, it's not to gobble up children. It's for echolocation. They need to make a noise. And once they do that, it hits an object and comes back. Then they know how far away the object is. If it takes longer to come, it's further away. If it comes back in a short time, the object is closer. But that's not it about echolocation. When bats use echolocation, they can also figure out how big the object is and how fast the object is moving. That is basically what echolocation is. I'm now going to talk about scary vampire bats. As you might have thought that vampire bats are scary, but they're actually not that scary. Yes, they do rely on blood to keep them going, but they don't suck on our blood. They suck on the bloods of horses, cows, and donkeys. That was some things I know about bats. You are currently listening to Factbeast. This program runs every fortnight, Friday 3:30 to 4 p.m. on ORFM 105.4. Now let's talk about baby bats. First of all, baby bats are called pups, like dogs. A group of bats are called a nursery, and in a nursery there are lots of adult bats and pups. Do you know if bats build a nest? The answer is no, bats do not build nests. Instead, they live in caves. And the pups, which are the baby bats, fly around the age of 3 to 6 weeks. When a pup's mother goes to find food, she can just simply leave her pup in the nursery. Pretty cool, right? You might be asking, when the mother comes back, how will she find her pup? There are lots of same-looking pups in the nursery. Well, easy. Each bat has their own smell, so she can smell her pup out. A pretty neat trick, right? Bats are really good at hugging, and they also like hugging. When a pup hugs its mum, the mum wraps her wings around the pup. Maybe we should switch bear hugs to bat hugs. I would like to pop in the fact that bats live all around the world except the Arctic and the Antarctic because they live in moderate climates, so they avoid extremely hot deserts or really chilly polar regions. Now let's wrap the episode with a question. How do bats hang upside down? Mostly when you see bats, they're hanging upside down or flying. Well, this is how bats hang upside down. Bats' talons or back claws work opposite of most muscles. Bats' bodies are built for life upside down. Little pathways called artery carries the blood in only one direction, which helps the bat to stay upside down. That was the live episode of Factbeast with Ajax. But missed the electrifying live episode of Factbeast with Ajax? Don't worry, you can listen it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Fascinating insights and thrilling tales. Rev the excitement anytime, anywhere with a push of a button. Get ready for an adventurous journey into the world of Factbeast, your ticket to endless wonder. I'd like to give a big thanks to Arena, Jove, and my dad Ashik for helping me out. Bye, we'll meet again in a fortnight. Ka kite ano. Thanks for listening to Factbeast on Youth Zone.